All right, guys, good morning. We are so excited to be here plugging in with you, and we are so glad that you are here plugging into yourself and your business. I just want to take a quick minute and welcome you all here. My name is Barb Hauser. I'm an Ambassador Diamond Leader from Ontario, Canada. We've got Susan Wade and Amy Chisholm with us today. And guys, we are so excited to share some golden nuggets with you that are going to help you take your business to the next level. So before we get started, I just want to take a quick minute to share with you guys our income disclosure statement. And this is something that we should all be so proud of. This truly just shows people what the potential is. And every single one of us on this call, no matter where you are right now, no matter where your income is, we're going to give you some tangible tips that you can take and apply to your business today to help you feel like you've got a little bit more structure. You know, our theme today is accountability and tracking. And so maybe you're a red personality and you're on here like, oh, the time consuming stuff that I don't love. Or maybe you're on here as a green being like, yes, give me a checklist. We have some amazing tools in our business that really can just help us be consistent. And we're excited to chat a little bit about those this morning. But let's just take a quick minute so that you get a chance to meet all of us. So again, I'm here in Ontario, Canada. My name's Barb Hauser, and I have been with the business for just over 7 years now. It has been an absolutely life-changing experience. And I can tell you that the way I did things in the beginning of my business versus the way I do things today is definitely a little bit different. And interestingly enough, even our personalities change over our lifetime in the business. So when I started the business, when it came to accountability and tracking, I was a very green personality. I overthought everything. I over-systemized everything. I was reinventing the wheel and creating spreadsheets and doing all kinds of stuff. Well, we want to show you guys how, 7.5 years into the business, Ambassador Diamond, building my 2.0, and yet we are now just going back to the basics. And I love that that's what this whole series has been about, because it's true. At the end of the day, we can boil down what we do into a few simple steps. And once you really embrace those steps, I know that you're going to find ways to do this. So I have had such a great time connecting with these two ladies you're going to hear from this morning. Both come from very different walks of life. So I'm excited, and I'm going to pass it over and just let them introduce themselves. So Susan, if you want to take it away and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Susan Wade. I've been in the business for almost 8 years, and I love what you shared, Barb, because we are very similar in that way. When I got started 8 years ago, I did overcomplicate. I am a registered nurse. And so when I got in this business, I thought I had to know everything. I thought everybody needed to know everything. And the more simple I made this business, the more I succeeded, which I hope someone hears me out that keep it simple, okay? But long story short, I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I didn't want to work as a nurse anymore. So this business has allowed me to do that. I now have 4 beautiful girls, ages 2, 4, 6, and 8. We are really busy. And so I just love that this business works with my day-to-day. And like Barb said, it kind of changes over time. And so, whatever season you're in right now, I hope this Zoom just kind of helps, bring you back to the basics and teach you what you need to know, teach you just the little simple things that you need to know to make this work. So I love it works. It's really, truly changed my life. And I've really loved getting to know these 2 girls too.
Awesome. So my name is Amy Chisholm. I am 27 years old from Nova Scotia, Canada. It's nice to meet another Canadian, Barb. I am a double diamond with this company, and I actually just had my 1-year anniversary on September 11th. So just 4 days ago is 1 year. Before it works, I was a teacher. I made the decision in high school, teaching is what I want to do. I want to change children's lives. And I went all through my schooling, got my first position as a grade 4 or 5 teacher, and pretty much instantly realized that that's not where I'm supposed to be. As much as I love my students, I just had so much anxiety getting up every day. And I knew that I couldn't do that the rest of my life. So honestly, one door closed, and then 1 year ago, another door opened, and I got a message on Instagram about this opportunity. I had no idea what network marketing was. I'd never heard of It Works before, but it just made me excited, and it kind of felt right. So I jumped into it, and obviously it's meant to be. Here I am on a corporate training, my first one ever. So if I butcher it, just love me anyways, but I'm really excited, and this has just changed my life. So
hey, everybody in the chat, go ahead and put a 1 if you've already related to Amy. I see so many of you just cheering her on. Yay, Canada, yay, Amy. Okay, first of all, it's a big deal that you're on here today. So this is going to be great. I know it.
I had to mute the chat because I just will be too distracted.
Well,
but I know my Canadian girls are going wild.
Going crazy. So they love you.
It's amazing to see what you've done in such a short period of time in your business, you know, and really just you embracing that and saying, hey, this is where I'm meant to be, and truly deciding to step forward in it. I know we've chatted about a ton of the things you've done, and I can't wait for you to share some of that today. But I hope that you guys can take some, just a breath of fresh air from realizing that whether you've been in the business for years or whether you've been in for a really short period of time, if you take and embrace some of these ideas that we're going to talk about today, and you just choose 1 or 2 things. So by the end of this call, I want you guys to be able to drop 1 or 2 ideas that you are going to implement into your business, because this whole Zoom is about accountability and tracking. And so through this call, I want you to make yourself accountable to at least 1 to 2 things that you are going to commit to do differently in your business, because each of us are going to share with you, you know, some things that we've done. And like I said, I was very green when I started this business. I'm a lot more blue now. I've let a lot of that green go. You'll find that you embrace different aspects of yourself. But, you know, we want this business to be fun. We want it to appeal. You want to have a variety of personalities on your team, and every single person can work within kind of the structure that we've got. So I'm going to ask these ladies, as you can hear, you know, Amy is young. She doesn't have any kids yet. She doesn't have, you know, a lot of those responsibilities tying her down because she's not working right now. And Susan's a mom of 4, right? I'm also a mom of 4. So regardless of what your life looks like, you may have different amounts of time that you can put into this business, but it's really about being intentional with that time. And so I want to hear from you ladies, what the structure of a typical day looks like for you. And how do you go about running your day as a business? You know, what are some of those non-negotiables that you're doing every day? So Susan, I'll start with you, busy mom of 4.
Okay, so like I mentioned, over 8 years, a lot of things have kind of evolved and changed. And one of those things that I worked with was with my husband, and communicating like what works for us as a couple, what works for us as parents. What we came to find is that I'm not a morning person. He is. He loves waking up in the morning. I'm a night owl. And I was getting a lot of the work done while my kids were finally asleep. And so we kind of came up, and this actually happened this year, where he was like, hey, I've got the job of taking the kids to school. So my morning usually starts with being able to have that freedom of waking up, making my coffee, showering if I need to, like a day like today. It felt great. And then I get to work, and I usually can get the bulk of my work done within like 1 to 2 hours. Now, I love what I do. And so I'll be honest, sometimes I take a little bit longer, but that's by choice. But I'll never forget the Zoom I watched years ago where someone said, if you're glued to your phone 24/7, you're not paying attention to your family, you're not paying attention to your kids, you're not doing it the right way. That you could seriously go in your room, lock the door, and get what you need to get done within, you know, 1 to 2 hours. Now, that everybody's life looks different. Some people are working a full-time job right now. I totally understand. So maybe that 1 to 2 hour chunk that I'm doing, you can then space it out, multitask, et cetera. So what works for me is, and we may get into this a little bit later, and I've used different ones, but I found this at Target. It is a day designer. What I've noticed, and a lot of top earners that I've talked to, they've said when your calendar shows a full day, that it can help you organize your day. And what I came to find is when I was using a lot of different trackers, even my green mind, okay, I'm super green, I got really confused. And I'm someone who, even though I've been in 8 years, I just got into Host to Post, you guys. So I started Host to Post in May. So that's something that's really huge on, you know, any KPI tracker or daily task list. So this day designer allowed me to mainly have two sections of my day. I have my host to post that I'm writing down, and I'm having my potentials. That's really what I came to find is I'm not spending a lot of time writing down, you know, this potential I'm talking about coffee, or this potential I'm talking about hair, skin, and nails, because I can easily go to our message and see that that's what we were talking about. So since May, I've had this day designer, and I just write down what I need to know. What is their name? What day did I, you know, have that initial conversation? When do I need to follow up with them? And then, you know, my host to post. And I keep it simple. I do use like a simple version of the KPI. So making sure I do my self-development every day, making sure that I get on a training, post to my wall, post to my story, making sure I'm talking about me, not just the products, but also the business. So going through that KPI, and what you're gonna come to find is that by doing host to post, you're actually knocking out a lot of what you, like, it's not as complicated. And so anyway, back to my day, I can get that done, you guys, in like 1 to 2 hours, and I'm enjoying it. It's very structured, which for my green personality is great. So if I've seen a lot of people say, well, I'm a yellow. If you're just like, everything goes over your head, go to Target or get on Amazon and get you a day designer and use the tools that corporate's giving you, but you can simplify it. That way you don't just not do it. And so that's what's helped me. My husband usually brings the kids home. My preschoolers don't go all day. And then I usually spend a lot of my day with my family. Once they get to bed, that's when I usually send out a lot of my messages and talk with my team. And that's my day. I know I kind of just rambled, but I just hope you guys get from that it's very, like, you can get a lot done in that focused 1 to 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It is. It's really about being intentional with our time. And I know there's a lot of people who have been asking about color personalities. Maybe you're brand new to us. We don't need to skim over that. But just to give you a quick overview, greens are like the logical, analytical, tend to overthink things, you know, loves to have systems and organization, and is a lot more detail oriented. Reds are like the give me a goal and I'm going after it, very driven, go-getter type of personalities who love competition and move really quickly. Blues are the life of the party. So they want to be where the action is. If it's not fun, they're not going to do it. And yellows are actually the majority of the population. I find it really interesting looking at that, but 40% of people are yellow. So many of you guys will have a huge yellow heart. Our company really aligns with that because yellows love helping other people. And we know that in this business, we get to help people with their health, with their finances. And you know, when we help other people, that's so rewarding as well. So that's a little bit about the 4 personality colors. I did ask, Shelly's posted the link in the chat if you guys want to try an online quiz. But that is a really great way for you to grasp kind of who you are. And then you don't have to be attached to who you are. You know, you want to be able to speak to people that are every different personality style. And that's why we're talking to you guys today about how to kiss your business and keep it super simple with what you're doing so that it doesn't get overcomplicated for you, or for you to be able to teach other people how to duplicate. So yeah, if you know your personality, feel free to drop that in the chat. It's always interesting to see where people are at. So it's usually, I think it's 25% of people are red and blue, 40% of people are yellow, and just 10% of people are green. But I promise you, if you're a green, you think everyone else is like you and you need to know everything. So I'm excited to turn it over. Amy, maybe just tell us a little bit about your personality color and how you work your business and what a structure of your typical day looks like.
Yeah, so I definitely have a lot of green in me. I like to be super, super organized. Of course, having a background as a teacher, you know, you kind of feel like you have to know everything and you have to have everything just right for the day. So coming into this, you know, I had my papers everywhere, every tracker you could think of, every app, all the notes in my phone. And then like as each month went on, I kind of tried to condense that and figure out what works for me. And honestly, I still am trying to figure that out. I started using the Kpi Tracker last month, and I've been really good to stay focused on that. And I was using the paper copy. I have it here in front of me, but I found that I just wasn't taking that with me every day as much as I found, like I told myself, okay, Amy, you're going to take your paper with you. And I just like that satisfaction of when it gets done, I'm going to check it right off. So I have moved into an app on my phone. It's called Productive. And I just have the tasks the same as what they're on the paper in my phone. And I just get to check them off as I get them done. But the structure of my day, obviously I don't have 4 kids. It's just me, my fiance, and my dog. I'm a dog mom, but as much as I have like more time, I still want to keep this business as simple as possible. So when I wake up, my fiance calls it my in bed routine. So I'm doing things like before I physically get up, and what those things are adding to my Instagram. I really like to grow my network there. I find it's just like an easy task to check off. You don't have to be fully awake. I kind of find it fun to go find new friends or whatever. So I'm adding those people. Then I'm moving to Facebook to get my birthday messages out. I like to be interacting with my friends on there before, I fully start my day. And then I'm getting straight to my host to post, because host to post for me is like the most important. That's my number one non-negotiable, because this is where I get all of my customers from. You never really know how long it's going to take to meet your goal. And mine is 8 to 10 every day. So if I'm starting to get those messages out, hopefully I'm going to get them up quicker, so that I'm not stressed about it later into the evening when my fiance is home and I want to be spending time with him. After those 3 tasks, that's my in-bed routine. I'm getting up and I'm going to my workout. And this is where I'm getting my professional or personal development in on my way and back from my workout. I know a lot of people like to start their day right away with that, and that's awesome to get your mind right like that. But I find that I can just really focus on it when I'm driving in the car. And then on my way home, when I'm listening to it, I'm fired up to come home and complete the rest of my Kpi tracker. So getting those follow-ups in, getting the rest of my host to posts up, checking in with my team, doing my coffee posts that I do every day, and then just the rest of those KPIs. And then I know that I've done the things to help move my business forward, and I can feel better about putting my phone aside for a little bit and spending that quality time with my fiance. And then of course the evenings are open for any types of training that are on Zoom or my team huddle and anything like that.
Love it.
That's kind of my day.
Well, and I think that's great, to be able to, for both of you guys to say, hey, you can pare this down and you can get this done in a couple of hours. That's what everybody wants. Nobody wants to look at us and say, oh my gosh, like her entire life is her business, and there's a little bit of a challenge there too, because honestly, if you guys are working this business, how fun it truly can be, and that it becomes addictive, right? And it doesn't feel like work. So sometimes it's easy to let it, become all consuming. But when you've got kids, when you've got other things going on, life has to happen. And so I really love, some people are always saying, oh, how do I find that balance? How do I figure out my work time and my business time? And, for myself, I know learning the idea of integration was really huge. And I love how you talked about that, listening to podcasts when you're in the car or when you're working out, we need to map out our day, and we need to figure out, what is that time that we can commit? Where are those moments when we're doing mindless things that we could be, if you're cooking dinner and you're listening to your personal development, that's crossing something off your KPI list. And I like that you both have different tracking systems. So you guys can see it's not about the system. It's about the action steps. It's about making sure that you're doing those tasks that really, help you stay consistent with your business. And it's the main things we have to do, guys, is we have to grow our networks. And just like Susan shared, host to post knocks out so many of those KPI tasks for you. And funny enough, I think, especially as new distributors, host to post can be one of those things that's a little bit overwhelming and intimidating. And it tends to be the thing that we put at the last of our list. So we can be like, oh, I've done 8 today, I'm good, and host to post wasn't one of them. But like Susan was mentioning, if you shift it around and you do your host to post first, you are going to be shocked. You're going to talk to those people about becoming a customer from host to post. You're going to talk to people about the distributor option in the business from host to post. You're going to grow your network from host to post. You're going to want to share in your story about the products that you're sharing in Host a Post, so that when people come to follow you, they're going to get the education that they're needing. And that really helps as well. So in talking about what you're actually tracking, I know that Susan, you shared you're tracking you're tracking Host a Post and potentials. And Amy, is there anything that you'd add to that? Like, what are some of the things that you're tracking in your business that you feel like are those key things that if someone wasn't using the KPI tracker list, essentially, what are some of those things that, I mean, guys, if you don't have a printer, if you don't have, a way to download and use these specific tools, don't overthink it and don't overcomplicate it. Take a piece of paper and write it down. Susan, you said you've got 2 columns in your.
Yeah, I was going to show you guys. So
awesome.
This is a blank page. And so if you are super green, which I'm green and I don't even really use this column a lot, but it's like a schedule for your day. So you can actually write it out. You can even post like gratitude for the day. My daughter likes to come in here and write what I'm doing for the night. She'll write like snuggle with mommy. So she actually like loves my little tracker. So really these 2 columns are all that I use. My to-do is usually, since they have these check boxes, is where I put my Host a Post people. So I can check them off when I go to my team page and write them down for, whatever giveaway your team's doing. And then the notes section next to it is where I put my potentials. So it's literally those 2 columns. They also have like a calendar for each tab of the month. So that's where I usually will write down on each day if I sign a customer, so I know what day they've been signed. And then I also make one other list to track my fast starts. So if you're brand new, making sure and you can use your Connect app, you can log into your eSuite, but I like it having it all in one place. So I like to write down my new distributors, and next to them, I'll just write 1 or 2. And I like being able to mark, oh my goodness, they got, their 4th customer, I just earned an extra, whatever bonus. It's good to be able to track that and see it all in one spot. Now, the last thing I want to say is I can't take this everywhere I go. Okay. It's a little bulky. It's super pretty. That's why I got it. And it helps me. I can't take it, if I'm in the car, my husband's driving, I may not have it. Okay. So one thing that helps me track, there's 2 different things I do. So I actually have, how you can put your Host a Post in a collection? I will actually have a folder that says Host a Post to enter in. So I know that exact folder, I've not written their names down. So when right before I go to bed, I go back to that folder and then I get out my notebook and I will track it. The second thing I learned from Morgan Martin. Anytime she does not have her book with her, she will actually screenshot any messages that come in. So that way her inbox is not full of, unread messages. She's actually screenshotting her potentials. And that way, if you're kind of OCD like we are, we like to see those messages go away, right? Because it drives our mind crazy. So screenshot things. So this is like your final tracker, but don't feel like you have to take it everywhere you go. So I just wanted to point that out. Use your screenshots, use those collections in Facebook. There's tons of Host a Post trainings where they kind of go into more detail, but that saves me when I'm out because I'm a mama. I'm doing the things. It can get a little crazy during the day.
Yeah, so I'm definitely tracking my Host a Post and my list of potentials as well. Like if you think about it, like Host a Post is where you're getting that list of potentials. So you want to have Host a Post organized to then have your potentials organized, because with your list of potentials, then you're coming and doing your follow-ups, and the key to getting a customer is in those follow-ups. So those are like the 2 main things that should be organized. I was doing like the paper trackers. There was a Host a Post tracker I was using where you could write down the name of the person, what they posted, and then if there was any potentials that came from it, and it had 10 slots on it. And I was using that. I was consistent for a while, but then I just found that system wasn't working for me. And I knew that I was already keeping it organized right on Facebook. So I go in and I save it, and I have the categories by the week. So then if it's saved by the week, if I haven't gone in and added my potentials to my list, I can just bring up that category and go back through my Host a Post, and anyone that I've had a conversation with, I can then add to my potentials list. And then what I'm doing for my potentials, I used to have my notebook. Again, I've switched everything so that everything's just right on my phone. I'm using the Pocket List app. So I have a list for my potential distributors and a list for my potential customers. As you put them in, it goes down. So I know the people at the bottom are the ones I followed up with the most. And then my newest ones are, of course, at the top. And I honestly just put their name. I used to put what product we were talking about, all those different details. But if I just go and open up the conversation that I've had with them, I know exactly where we left off and what we're talking about. And then I can pick up the conversation from there or figure out what follow-up I'm going to send them. So yeah, host to post are organized right on Facebook. And then I have my lists all right in my phone.
I love it.
And I love that she said that, because there's a lot of things in this business you're going to find that you're doing because you think you're working. Yeah. Okay. So like you're doing the things, you're writing a lot, you've got your notebook out. I want you guys after this to like do an audit of what you do every day. I mean, truly, and go, is this increasing my check? Because yes, you want to be consistent every single day. Consistency is going to get you to ambassador, you guys, hands down. But there's a lot of stuff that I caught myself doing and writing down to be organized as a green. And it wasn't necessary. It was a time waster. So audit your day and see, like, is this part of the KPI? Like, is this needed every single day to get me to where I'm going? If not, it's taking time away from your kids or your husband who wants to go on that date night. And so we're guiding you to go, hey, you know, you can have it all. That's what Pam always says. You can have it all. You can still, you know, be the mom that you want to be organized, do the things, do the tasks that Amy has said she's so awesome at. And then, you know, if Amy one day does have a family, she's already going to know. She's going to have her kids come in and she's going to already have that schedule down.
Yeah, no, I think that is so true. You know, we've got to just be really intentional about what we're doing. And I love that you guys are grabbing different ideas here. You know, Amy's using pretty much everything is online on her phone, on her app. You know, I found myself falling into that same trap too when I first started doing host to post and doing the checklists and whatnot. But guys, we've got such amazing tools. Like even if you're using Facebook for doing your host to post, you can go back and search a keyword. You can search TFX when there's a promo on TFX, and you can find all your past conversations in regards to that faster than you can leafing through a pile of papers to try and figure out who hosted what. So, you know, everybody's brain is going to work a little bit differently. What you think you need to track is going to work a little bit differently. You know, I love that you're using your actual paper planner. I had been doing that for a long time. Since COVID hit, I got an iPad, and guys, like if you've got these tools, like utilize what's there. There's an app called Good Notes where you can have your charts, you can have your note papers. And so I've got my lists of potentials in there where I'm putting 6 little boxes beside every new distributor that I sign up. Same thing as Susan's talking about. Like, don't leave money on the table. Be aware of what you have available to you and be intentional about it. You know, sometimes it's easy to forget, what day did they sign? Like, has it been 30 days yet? Oh my gosh, like, are you touching base with people? So having that list of your new distributors for you to stay consistent and be connecting with them consistently is also really amazing. So yes, Good Notes changed my life. And another app, if you are using Host to Post, all of you should have some type of word board. Okay, word board is going to make it a lot faster and easier. For those of you that are new, you're going to find that you use similar scripts and messages every time that you're sending out Host to Post back and forth conversations. And rather than trying to remember your text replacement codes or going back and forth into your notes, Good Notes basically just gives you everything in a file right there. So you just click your way through the message and everything's already done. Okay. So reach out and ask your upline. If you are getting started with Host to Post, it is a tool that will help you feel less overwhelmed and more organized. And, you know, it is so easy to do. Even now I'm homeschooling my kids. I can be sitting next to them and a message comes through and all I have to do is press one button and I don't even have to think twice about what they need. All right. So that's a little bit about tips and getting organized. And just the last thing we really want to talk to you guys about is I'd love it if you guys would talk about which platforms you use, because I know there's a little bit of a different style between us all. And I love talking about how our story is a really great way for us to add product education and be talking about things, be sharing those before and after pictures. You know, we don't want to use our social media to be too salesy. And sometimes there might be new distributors on here where you're just diving into using social media really kind of for the first time, and you're excited about the business and you're getting all these ideas of things you can share, and your social media becomes a little bit overwhelmed with just business and you become a little bit salesy. So we want to talk to you guys about, you know, just ways that you can kind of use your timeline as like a journal of your day and be really personal and relate and connect with people. And then just what are some of the things that you do in terms of accountability to help grow without playing the comparison game, because that can become a huge pitfall as well. All right, Amy, do you want to share first?
Go ahead, Susan.
Okay.
So you jump in there too.
So like Barb said, something that years ago I started realizing is that our social media, and I mostly use Facebook for my host to post. I know Amy does more Instagram, but it all kind of works the same in terms of your social media profile should be like your diary. So I encourage, like, if you're brand new on here or you just got started with It Works, like if I were to go to your Facebook page or Instagram right now, would I be able to like, can I know who you are just by like scrolling? And that sounds kind of weird. Like, obviously, you know, you're not giving your deepest, darkest secrets, but for the most part, like, you need to be sharing who you are. You know, I always go to new distributors and it's, you know, before and after picture, and then like just a single coffee mug sitting on the table. No faces are shown. There's nothing on there about who they are. And so when I look at my social media, I think of it as like my life, my diary of my 24 hours. And then I'm dripping, you know, Mark always says dripping. So I'm dripping It Works throughout my day. A lot of my before and afters go on my story. So people are like engaging with me. They're like, what is she doing? What are they up to? Those weights. And then boom, I'll drop a before and after picture. They can't escape me. Okay. And so once they see something multiple times, that's when that attraction marketing does come in. And it all ties in with host to post, because what do you think these people are going to do when they see someone either tag you or they say, my friend Susan is sharing a coffee, whatever? What are they going to do? They're immediately going to go stalk your Facebook or your Instagram. Who is this person? Now, if you look like you're not real, look like a computer, a bot, whatever, they may not want to talk to you. So the attraction marketing goes hand in hand with your host to post. And so that's what, when Barb says staying personal, it's super, super important, because if you don't, a lot of this that we teach, it's not going to work. You're going to be like, why isn't this not working for me? So definitely do that. And then your second thing you said was, what was the last thing you told me to?
I'm just talking about ways to keep yourself accountable to grow without playing comparison.
Not comparing. Yeah. Okay. I'll touch on this and let Amy finish up. You guys, I've been in 8 years and I'm an ambassador. I've hit a lot of things that I never could have imagined, and I still will scroll and I will compare myself. Okay. I will look at their life. I'll look at what they're doing, and you get sucked in, right? You like feel like, oh, they're doing it the right way. And a lot of you who have been in the business a while are killing it. But then you start looking left and right at what they're doing to kill it, and you stop doing what's working for you. And so I hope after this Zoom that you realize, you know, what I'm doing is consistent. It is working. I am enrolling. I don't need to look left or right at what, you know, this person's doing over here, because if it's working for you, keep doing it. Like I said, consistency is going to get you to the top. So I hope you see, like, you know, Amy's been in a year. I guarantee you that she compares just as much as I do. We all do it. We're all human. Don't get yourself down. And the last thing I'll say is, if there's someone that every time you scroll makes you feel bad about yourself, it is okay to unfollow them. You do not have to unfriend, but just out of sight, out of mind, stay focused, stay in your lane. And that's my advice.
Mm-hmm. I'll just jump right in on the accountability thing. Something that I do is there's someone we all know on this panel. I really love Morgan Martin. She's someone I followed from the beginning. I just find I can really make a connection to her. You know, it's her and her husband, her dog, her new dream home, and that's really where I'm trying to be. I have my fiance, my dog. I don't have my dream home yet, but instead of like comparing myself to her to make myself feel bad, I check in on her posts on her Instagram or Facebook to be inspired by her so that I can do a check-in on myself and look at my Instagram and Facebook. And if it's kind of matching up, you know, I'm not going to copy exactly everything that she's doing, but at least I know that I'm copying the right cat because she's in a position that I want to be. So what does my page look like? Is it clean? Is it showing who I am? You know, am I doing the right things to get to where she is and not making myself feel bad about myself, especially since, you know, I'm a double diamond. I'm not way up at ambassador status or anything like that. So it is easy yet. So it is easier to compare yourself and, you know, just continue to make sure that you're doing those right things. But yeah, just find someone that you can copy. And then if I'm copying someone, then there's probably people that are also copying me. So I want to make sure that my page looks good for when those people are coming to jump on my page, that they're going to be also doing the right things because maybe I'm in a position where they want to be. So you have to think about it that way too.
Amy, I think we talked about this when we met up, and I think this will help. If you see a top leader's post that you love, what is your way to organize that so that later down the road, you can come back to help you make your posts? I think we talked about this, right?
Yeah, there's not anything fancy that I do. Like today I did put up a post and I went to Morgan Martin's page and I typed in dreams because that was kind of the topic of what my post was going to be, like, how do you feel your dreams? So I typed in dreams. I went and saw like some of the posts that she had done about her dreams and how she keeps pushing to get to those dreams. And then I just put my own twist on it. You know, I'm not copying every word that she says. I'm writing it out in my own way. But she just gives me that structure, you know, of how
she inspires you. Yeah. Something I do is I love my collections, right? So I'll just save a collection that says future posts. And so I'm saving these top leaders posts. And then like Amy said, I'm not copying and pasting. That is not the way to go, but use it to guide you and inspire you.
Yeah. And I remember you saying that you save them as a collection. And I learned from that. That's something I should definitely start doing as well.
Do you actually search Morgan's name in the word dreams? You're typing that in the search bar?
No, I search her name and then within her profile, you can search things.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool. See, I just learned something.
Something new.
Put a comment if you're learning something. This is so cool.
Well, I'll tell you, I know one thing that we talked about when we were on calls too is like, you know, if you're finding that your profile can be a little bit too salesy and too, you know, in your face with it, once in a while, it's good to do posts like that. But, you know, say for example, even when you're doing your giveaway posts every week, if you're not adding enough stuff in between that's just like general life stuff, your page, when people go there, they're just going to see giveaway after giveaway. So another tip is just to hide or archive things off your timeline that when you scroll back seem a little bit too salesy. You're not deleting the post, but you're able to just archive them so you hide them. You don't want to delete posts because of algorithms. And that's something that I've really just been learning and trying to incorporate into the way that I do things. So don't delete your posts from Facebook and Instagram, hide or archive them. It's better for your algorithms. And, you know, again, like talking about organization systems, I did share in the chat that one thing I started was a group on Facebook that I don't add anyone to. And it's just a group page for me. And I just called it my organization page. And literally when I find a post that I love, I'll share it into that group. And then I can go back and edit that post and tweak it to what I want it to be. And then when I post it, I can put a comment underneath, hey, post it on September 17th. And then I'll be able to recycle those posts again in the future. I can take the my before and after images, and I can organize them into folders and files so I can easily find things in there without having to store everything on my phone. For those of you that might be low on storage, so you can find different things to do in that way. So don't make excuses, get resourceful, use the tools and things that we have at our fingertips. And all right, so here we are at the end of our call, guys. I hope that you've taken something amazing from this. I hope you realize that you want to be consistent with what you're doing, because there are so many people that are watching you. There are people that are watching you that are waiting for you to fail. There are people who are watching you who are waiting to be inspired. There are people who are waiting and watching to see you prove that it is possible. So don't give up. You are in the right place at the right time. We are all here today, this morning, Tuesday morning, plugging in 550 people on a call who are saying, I want to learn how to take my business to the next level. So take a quick minute, drop in the chat, what is something that you are going to do differently moving forward? An idea that you've gotten today, or something that you just realized you needed to commit to. Maybe it's that you haven't been doing enough host-to-post and you realize that you're going to cross off more KPI tasks by doing that. Maybe you are going to go and find a few top leaders to follow, and you're going to start duplicating what it is that they're doing. Copy the right cats. If you see a viral post on Facebook or a viral live, or, when it comes to TikTok, that's how everybody's doing it. So you find the things that are working and you recreate it as your own. Have fun with it. Show people that you're being resourceful. Show your team that they can try new things and step outside their comfort zone. And I promise you, this will all help you take your business to the next level. So thank you guys so much for your tips and tricks and everything that you've shared today. I'm excited for you guys to go. I see so many people commenting and saying they are going to get more organized. They are going to do more host-to-post. And guys, I promise you what that will do for your business. You can't even begin to really understand where the explosion is going to come from, but it's about to happen and the boom is going to be here. So thank you guys for plugging in.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great day, guys.
Bye.
Bye.